The driver's seat is presented by Ray Reese Volkswagen and Portland's Hyundai, Portland's #1 VW dealer, and Portland's newest Hyundai dealer. Now let's climb into the driver's seat on Miles Around Television.
In our driver's seat is the 2009 Toyota Corolla. What a legacy this car comes to the table with. 40 years, 30 million produced, originally made in 1966. It's now in its 10th generation, first saw it in the United States in 1968.
Nick's right. You know what? Everybody that I know at somewhere in their life cycle has had or knows somebody that's had a Corolla. It goes through so many changes throughout all the different incarnations. The car has been one thing: reliable, well built, and always dependable to the owners. We're going to take a look at that all new interior, look at the car overall, but right now we're going to start right here under the hood.
Underneath the hood of the 2009 Toyota Corolla, you get a choice of two different engine packages. This particular XLE that we're looking at has the 1.8-litre engine with the automatic transmission.
One of the things that I always find interesting with cars like the Corolla and this 1.8-liter engine is how it's relevant to the days where horsepower was measured in 1 horsepower per cubic inch. That was always a standby or maybe a benchmark per se of all the manufacturers around the world. Well, 110 cubic inches, just under, really isn't a big engine, but when you look at it making 132 horsepower at 6,000 RPMs, all I got to do is go back 15 years and say this is what'll be here, and people would never believe me. The thing about these motors are not only are they now more powerful for smaller packages, they get great fuel mileage and great efficiency. Low emissions, long-term quality is down to almost bare nothing, and let me tell you something, they're smooth and refined as ever before. They're great engines and great packages. The nice thing about these new Corollas is the suspension package has been redesigned for 2009. Now, they have a very familiar McPherson strut suspension in the front, but a new torsion beam in the back. And I gotta tell you, on the road, one of the things that makes cars like this really exciting to me is they're not race cars, but they still give you that entertaining drive. This little Corolla with its great four-wheel disc brakes and that newly developed suspension will give you just that, excitement behind the wheel.
When Toyota came up with a mandate for the 2009 Corolla, they wanted to increase the trunk space and the interior space and also make the car more rigid. They wanted to reduce some of that road noise. Well, once they had a framework for that, they built the car on the exterior. And maybe it was good design and maybe it was luck, but they've ended up with a really nice vehicle. Some Toyota traits here and the trapezoidal grille and headlights along with the air dam at the bottom. They've also given this car a low aggressive look, and even a sweeping hood to the A-pillars makes this car look like it goes fast even when it's in the parking lot.
One of the things I see in this brand new Corolla is the new Camry, and believe me, that's not a bad thing. When you take one of the top selling cars, and this is one of those as well, and make it look like the bigger brother, it's always a good thing. Now, I like the way that they've raised the shoulder line and made the car look a little fuller in the center. I also want to mention one thing. Little engineering feats, like the way they kink this and move this back just a little bit where the roof line meets the rear glass, it makes it so it has even more headroom in the back. Small cars are not always going to be the roomiest inside. They've made the maximum available space in the small package. We'll see that in just a second when we jump inside.
On the interior of the 2009 Toyota Corolla, let me tell you a couple of things that are outstanding about this car. The actual basic option package that it comes with is great. The 6 CD changer, the option of satellite radio, and of course the HVAC controls are right in the center and a new design for Toyota. The interior room is the other big thing in this, and it's got to be one of my ups when we do our 2 ups and 1 down. Got same headroom, same legroom, and same hip room as previous Corollas, but the new design makes it feel like this car is actually a lot more spacious on the interior.
Well, I'm going to mention a couple things on the interior, one being materials, other being engineering. You know, when you look at even the most basic Corolla like this, it has this nice veneer inserts. I'm sure it's not black piano wood, but I'll tell you what, it looks nice and it looks like high quality. The other way is the things that Toyota's engineered so well into the dash. It's kind of been the trend lately on these small cars to maximize space. One of the ways they've done it is actually giving it 2 glove box. Now, on the Project Toyota Tundra that we have for the show, it has that design too. It's nice. You have one area for more everyday things and something else for, say, the registration, gloves, or maybe emergency items. I think that it's well thought out, it's useful, and it certainly does look good.
Let's talk about my 2 ups and 1 down for this, the 2009 Toyota Corolla. Interior is going to be my first up, so well engineered. They really put a lot of thought into putting this car together. They've given you the same headroom, the same shoulder room, and the same legroom as in previous Toyota Corollas. But in this one, it's also very cleanly designed on the inside with lots of space to put your stuff, and comes along with all those buttons and gauges and things right where you need them, including steering wheel controls. For an under $20,000 car, that's really great. Talking about my second up, which is going to be the engineering aspects of the drive, makes it really quiet on the road. The frame is a lot stiffer this time around, and makes sure that the car actually gets less of that road noise and a bit of a better handling ability. My down for the vehicle has got to be this, and it's something I always say about these vehicles. Although the vehicle is great in every single aspect, it doesn't leap off of the page at me from a magazine or from a showroom floor. The car is exactly what it is. It's a low profile, great car for the money, but there's somewhat of a spirit missing in the vehicle. Now maybe you want to get this car to stay under the radar, but I think if there's one thing that Toyota could do is create a bit more spirit in their design.
When it comes to my 2 ups and 1 down on this, the Toyota Corolla XLE for 2009, I'm going to grab at the low-lying fruit. The first one being reliability. Who hasn't, when they buy your new Toyota, thought of that being one of the primary reasons? Toyota's made a great reputation for their brand for many years about how these vehicles, whether you're good at car maintenance or not, whether you're forgetful or not about changing the oil, will last forever. And you got to give that up for Toyota of making that part of what is associated with the name itself. Now, the other side is going to be the initial quality ratings. When you jump in this all-new vehicle, you close the door, you slam the hood, you play with all the materials inside, and it's all top-notch and definitely at the head of its class. Now, for me, the down is going to be something that is maybe mimicking of what Nick just said. Yes, the car is all new, and they've definitely gone strides forward with the way that the car looks, feels, and presents itself to the public, but there is a little something missing. Now, I don't know if the buying public really cares, but for me, I think that as an auto, maybe an aficionado might be associated with me personally, I think it lacks a little something in that category. Now, overall, great vehicle. That is going to complete our review of this, the 2009 Toyota Corolla XLE. The 2009 Toyota Corolla XLE sedan comes standard with a 1.8-liter dual overhead cam 4-cylinder and a 4-speed automatic transmission. The standard vehicle price is $17,550 with an as-tested price of $19,470.